Hello, silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver and numismatic education, acquisition, and entertainment. Hey, if you like coin shop videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to see my next one. T. All right, Russ. Hey, thanks for having me back here at Harlan J. Berk.
Always.
Tell the audience what you told me just a minute ago about the guy with the tackle box.
Yeah, had a gentleman come in, and on Thursday, we really didn't expect a whole lot of business Thursday. If you don't know, it's very cold in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
And a gentleman walks in with a tackle box, and he looks at me and he says, "I have some gold to sell." All right, excellent. He opens the tackle box, and it's 212 ounces of gold, pretty evenly split between Eagles and Maple Leafs.
How many?
So 212 ounces.
Dang.
Yeah, so pretty close to 400 grand. That's not an uncommon thing for us to do. We do handle a lot of volume, but it was certainly unexpected for Thursday before one Snowmageddon that we were supposed to get here, and two Christmas.
Oh, that's right. That was one of those crazy days.
It was.
Man, oh man. I tell you what, it must be never a dull moment around here, I would imagine. From week to week, you've got to see some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it gets real interesting. Speaking of crazy stuff,
yeah.
We are working on a collection right now. I've posted a few little things on my kind of channels and stuff and my social media presence, but you have a wide reach, and these are always fun to share with people. So we pretty much got a virtually complete, there are a few pieces missing, run of O-Mint gold from $1 to $20. And by O-Mint gold, I mean gold made in New Orleans at the New Orleans Mint.
What was the time frame there that New Orleans was running?
Yeah, so the New Orleans Mint opened in 1839, and it ran on and off until really 1907, if I remember right. Someone's probably going to have to correct me on that. But until the early 1900s, it did have a hiatus from 1861, or really 1862, to 1879.
Okay.
In 1861, the state of Louisiana seized the mint after they seceded from the Union. And then they struck coins for the state of Louisiana. Then, after they joined the Confederacy about 2 months later, it was taken over by the Confederacy, and they struck coins under the auspices of the Confederacy. And then during Reconstruction, it was closed until 1879.
Okay, so on and off, and so something special about that O-Mint gold, huh?
Yeah, O-Mint gold can be really, really rare. These are two really interesting coins. One is an 1855 O. And that guy has a mintage of only like 8,000 pieces. So we're talking about very, very small mintages. And with branch mint stuff, and when I say branch mint, what I mean is all the mints that aren't Philadelphia. Philadelphia is, for lack of a better term, the mother mint. And so every other mint is a branch mint.
Nice price tag.
Yes. Branch mint stuff wasn't saved like Philadelphia coins were. A lot of collectors, really until up to the early 20th century, didn't collect by mint mark. They collected just one type. So they would get all Philadelphia coins, or they would do that. So branch mint collecting wasn't really a thing for a long time. So a lot less of those survive. And generally, there's less struck at branch mints than at the Philadelphia mint. As a rule, obviously there are a lot of exceptions, but generally that's how it goes.
When did that become a thing, that people started collecting branch mint based
really,
on the branch?
Sure. So really you start seeing that more in the early 20th century. People wanting to put together complete collections. So by complete, you need an example from every date and mint. So we start seeing it then. So a lot of these issues were just, they were spent. You see them heavily circulated because $20 is a lot of money in the 1850s. So these are kind of the really expensive ones. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
But I do have a couple here that are completely reasonable prices that a lot of people can afford, and they're really, really cool. This is an 1853 O $1.
I was going to ask you, because you've got one of those in the case over there that's raw. And tell me the history of this little guy. Is this the smallest gold coin made?
That's the smallest U.S. gold coin made, yes. Unless you count California gold, which they did fractional stuff, which is very, very small. But that's the smallest denomination U.S. gold coin that's been made. So basically, after the California gold rush, there's all this gold coming out of California, and they need something to do with it. Mm-hmm. And so they come up with the scheme of 2 coins. Mm-hmm. Well, really 3 coins, if you get really into it. But it's the $1 gold piece, the $3 gold piece, and finally the $20 gold piece. Okay. The $20 gold piece doesn't actually get struck until 1849. And really what it is they need something to do with all this gold. Mm-hmm. So they create new denominations. Yeah. $1 golds, they did circulate, but I mean, it's just such a small coin. It's really, really hard to keep track of. Yeah. And so they made plenty of them. There are some very rare dates.
Are they collectible these days?
Oh yeah, very collectible.
Very, very collectible. Yeah, for the volume of gold,
yes,
it's a pretty hefty price tag.
It is. They're very sought after, especially for type collectors. So people that want one example of every kind of coin. Yeah. But again, branchment gold is very desirable. This is another pretty affordable piece. This is about $1,000. This is an 1854 O. Okay. 2.5. That guy's only about $1,000, and it comes from a really cool collection, the D.L. Hansen collection. So it's got a cool pedigree on it too.
Yeah. What's the history? D.L. Hansen.
He's just a really, really experienced collector. He put together some amazing sets, and that's just one piece that at some point was in his collection.
Okay. Yeah, under $1,000.
Yeah, under $1,000. Super affordable for the vast majority of collectors. You don't have to break an arm and a leg to try to afford it. Yeah. But it's a cool branchment gold piece. It's really interesting. You have New Orleans for branchment gold. The other 2 big ones are Dahlonega in Georgia and Charlotte in North Carolina. Okay. All 3 of those mints opened up pretty much at exactly the same time. New Orleans opened in 1836. I think I said 1839 earlier, but New Orleans opened in 1836. And so you have all kinds of different branchment gold, and branchment gold is very, very rare, very, very collectible. Especially from the southern mints. You also have Carson City gold, which can be, again, really, really expensive.
Oh, yeah. Even the most casual collector knows CCs.
Yeah, you know CC and you know it's expensive. But really, in the gold world, when we're talking about gold collecting, it's really Dahlonega and Charlotte and New Orleans that are your big money coins.
What are the mint marks for those 2?
Sure. So C for Charlotte. Okay. And then actually D for Dahlonega, because remember, the Denver Mint didn't open until 1906. Okay. So, we have D is used twice.
Oh, okay.
But Charlotte and Dahlonega, they both closed in the 1860s after the Civil War. So you won't really find anything, that's could be confused with the Denver Mint mark.
Yeah. Hey, let's switch gears and talk a little silver stacking. What are you seeing? Are people buying, selling?
We've kind of stagnated a little bit, to be real honest. I think there's a lot of hesitancy in what's going on with premiums right now. Yeah. We've seen premiums start to retreat a little bit. It's starting to get better because, Silver Eagles at plus 20 is still stupid.
Yeah, it is. I posted a couple videos on that, and whether it's you or my other coin shop that I go to, Sherry, talking about the crazy premiums, people seem to misunderstand. They think that you and Sherry are getting rich off of this.
I sure wish I was. Yeah. And the funny part is, we all do here in the shop, we tell people don't buy Silver Eagles right now. I had a gentleman come in that really wanted Silver Eagles today. Yeah. And I told him, if you can wait a month, 6 weeks, you're going to do a lot better. And I told him I don't really want to sell you any because they're just too expensive and it doesn't make sense. I look at the comments, I see what's going on. And I definitely see people, well, my LCS does this and my LCS does that. To which I say, if you can get them cheaper, go for it. Put a link in the comments because I want to buy some too. To be real honest.
Yeah, I do see some comments that are pretty hard to believe. But,
and
shrug your shoulders.
But again, I'm sure that they exist. We do everything as fair as we can possibly be. If I can give a break on something, I give a break. If I can, put you into second quality Eagles for cheaper instead of first quality Eagles, I'll do that. But to be real honest, I'd rather sell you bars where you aren't going to take such a big hit.
Yeah. 2023s. What are you hearing about the ASC? I'm going to buy one or two.
Sure.
One for the old Dansko album, and actually I bought one from, call me crazy, but I made an eBay purchase for one of the NGCXs.
Did you?
Just because I want one of the first ones.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's crazy. I paid twice as much as I should have for an American Silver Eagle.
It's a novelty. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard a whole lot on 2023s yet. We know we're going to be getting some. The premiums are, like I said, premiums are starting to come down on everything.
Yeah.
We're able to pre-order them for a lot more reasonable. But again, right now it's pre-orders, so until we actually get them in our grubby little hands, I really don't know. But I have thoughts. Again, I think, if I'm being real honest, I think Silver Eagles, the times of like $3, $4, $5 premiums, I think they're gone. I really do.
Okay.
I don't think they're coming back.
Wow.
I think that it's just become, I don't want to say greed on anybody's part, but the norm is that Silver Eagles are premium, and you're going to pay the premium for them, especially with all the things the Mint does. You know, the Mint does reverse proofs, and they do, special enhanced, and they do W's and S's, and they run the gamut from them. That I really think that Silver Eagles have gone from a tool to buy bullion to a weird quasi-collectible, almost status symbol sometimes. Sometimes I really feel like people buy Eagles just because they have to have Eagles because they're Eagles and they're so much better. Whereas me, I would much rather have a roll of 20 Buffaloes that I paid a heck of a lot less for. But I don't know what's happening. We'll find out.
It'll be interesting to see either way. And how about generics? Where are you at on generics? $4 over, $5 over?
So right now I'm closer to $5.
Okay.
But to be real honest, I've actually put some not so generic stuff in my generics lately.
Okay.
Because that kind of seems to be the product that I had. So you can right now, there's JMs in there, there's Engleharts in there.
That's one of my favorite things to do is peruse through the generics.
Yeah. So, generics are still $5-ish, and again, I think that's going to start being the norm. I don't think you're going to find $3 generics anymore. I just don't. Not in this weird market that we're in this weird economy. I find it very hard to believe that we're going to be able to go back to those, as much as people want to go back to those, and as much as even I think they should go back to them. I just don't think it's a market reality.
Well, silver's at 24. Care to venture as to where it's going to be, in 2023? I know it's just kind of silly to even guess, but any hunches?
Somewhere between $1 and $100. I wish I had any clue anymore. This market is so weird.
Well, the truth is nobody knows.
No.
But the guys who crack me up on their YouTube channels are the ones that are so definitive. It's going to be blah, 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 and they give you the reasons why, and really there's so many different variables.
Well, there's variables, and to be real honest, there's also market manipulation. We all know it. I think in the long run, silver's a good... I think in the long run, all metals are a good way to go. Obviously, I don't give investment advice because that's out of my purview, but my personal opinion is that, if you look at what's going on with metals in the world, they say by, I think it's 2040 or 2038, unless technology changes, all the mineable silver in the Earth's crust will have been mined. We're seeing a big push for things like electric cars. We're seeing a heck of a lot more consumer electronics sold, and they all need metal. They all need precious metal. So my guess is that it's going to keep rising. When we hit some valleys, I have no idea. When we hit some peaks, I have no idea either. But I think as a trend, it's not a bad way to go to store some extra value if you have it.
Heck yeah. So, to me, it's a beautiful savings account. And I honestly, I'm kind of looking down at the counter a little bit. I can't wait to go check out what you've got in there. So I'm going to do a little shopping. Hey, Russ, thanks for the time, man.
Always.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, I always enjoy these interesting conversations with Russ, and special thank you to the people who help make them possible. Special welcome to Welchco, my newest channel member. And take a look at this old school Engelhard tube. That's not what I purchased. Let me show you what I purchased. And speaking of Engelhard, let me focus here. There you go. Old school Engelhard round. And then you've got the silver bullet. OPM with a mushroom, old school design. Thought that was cool. A nice addition to my collection. More Engelhard, and then Southeast Refining, another interesting little bar. Take a look at this rainbow tone. Couldn't pass this one up. Natural tonage there. And yeah, I know there's a lot of tone guys out there that will just drool over this one as I did. And hey, fun trip up to Chicago as you take a last look at this toner. Thank you so much for watching. And I have other videos queued up ready for you to see. Check them out here.